Greetings, comrades. My name is Gigantles, and something very strange happened to me yesterday, which I do feel is quite important to tell you guys, because hopefully you don't make the same mistake as what happened yesterday and what I've seen, because it's a bit embarrassing for that person, and I mean, hopefully they just change and don't make such a mistake again, because of the possible consequences of it. So what happened was, I was helping as you know, I moderate several groups on Facebook, and in one of them, I helped moderate that one, and my friend who runs that page, who runs the e-signing call page, he's also in that group. And so what happened was, he has a role, so he does go around. I mean, I did get permission from the other admins to invite my friend there, despite his page, because the way he's designed his page is that it's meant to be. Wait, what? Like, you see the page charge and you go, I'm sorry, what? He's not in cult. And you go there and you realize, oh, okay, this is right. Because he's effectively just put things there to irritate the cult. So, you know, he has the I guess the flank of the cult and in the crosshairs of a scope. He has reference to the Cato the Elder saying Carthage must be destroyed by replacing it with the Eastern Lightning cult must be destroyed. He's very critical of the e-signing cult in his posts and stuff. And so the whole point of it is that it's basically meant to just irritate the e-signing cult members who come across it. Now, I did ask for permission from the admins to help bring him into the group, because I didn't want them to get confused by it. And they were like, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. And so what happened was, last night, I was busy working on some other things. I received a message. I was told on Messenger that someone was trying to contact me. And it said that apparently this woman came forward and she said that there was apparently a member of a cult in the admin team of my group, and I was like, oh, really? And I was very confused, and I was asking one of the other admins I was close to, the one who had invited me into the group in the first place, because of how my intention for clearing the group of cultists. She invited me to be an admin, and I told her, I was like, do you know what is going on? And then after around 5 minutes, I realized what was going on. I said, okay, you know what? I understand. Just leave it. I'll try and sort it out. And it was because she looked in the admin team and saw the page, the Eastern Lightning cult in it. And so what happened was, she then tried to. Well, she said, make me an admin and I'll clear up the group of cultists for you. And I said, no, look, it's fine. It's not a pro cult page. It's just an education page. And she spent some time trying to convince me that it was actually a member of the East Lightning cult infiltrating my group. And I eventually got to the point where I said, I compiled half that information myself and helped build that page. And I can tell you that's not a pro cult page. If you look at the posts, you'll see that they're all very critical of the Eastern Lightning cult. And then she starts accusing me of being an Eastern Lightning cultist, which is irritating again. I said, can you please prove this? Because it's one thing to say, it's one thing to slander someone like this, which is a sin, by the way. Slandering someone is a sin. But could you at least prove any of your claims? Because if you actually look at what this page says, it's nothing about it is pro-cult. Okay, it's all anti-cult. You're just confusing it. And she is still very critical, calling me out. And she said that she'll try and get me removed or something. And then she blocked me. So I went to the other admin in the group, and I went to the other admin, the one I told you about, and the one who had invited me, and I said to her, okay, the woman I was talking to has blocked me. She seems to have confused me with being a cult member and my friend in their group. So if she tries to convince you, can you please correct her and tell her that me and my friend aren't cult members? And she's like, yeah, sure, no problem. I was like, thank you. Now it's irritating because me and my friend spent a significant amount of time trying to find all these cultists, collecting thousands of them in our database. And we know how to identify cultists on site now. We have so much experience. But this woman, she claimed that she was a member, she was an admin of multiple groups, and she knew how to find these cultists and stuff, but she couldn't even identify the fact that this page wasn't a pro-cult page. In fact, my friend was so irritated by what this woman had been saying about him that he actually wrote a post on that page. I'm going to read it to you now so you guys can understand just exactly. You understand how little research this woman did when she thought that this was a pro-cult page. Okay, so I had to just shift sitting in front of my computer to read this to you because I can't remember this off by heart. But this is also just to confirm for anyone else who does think that this page is about is pro-cult. Okay, so he says this in his post. So, that correction hasn't worked apparently. Answer me this then. If I am from the cult, why is my profile image of the cult symbol in front of crosshairs? If I am from the cult, why does my banner quote Cato the Elder calling for Carthage's destruction in the context of the cult? If I am from the cult, why am I giving names of cultists for all to see? Won't they be removed from the groups that they infiltrate? If I'm from the cult, why am I getting such negative sources from them? Why not something praising them and not complaining of their heresy and crimes? If I'm from the cult, why would I even call myself a cult instead of a religion or the true church? If I'm from the cult, why would I warn of false teachers claiming to be in the place of Christ when that is literally the apparent authority of the cult? If I'm from the cult, why would I show all their art styles and how to recognize them, reminding people not to fall for their artwork? If I'm from the cult, why would I show cult pages pretending to be Catholic when no one suspects a thing about them? If I'm from the cult, why haven't I spammed this page with thousands of links like they are known for doing? If I'm from the cult, why haven't I linked myself to cult groups in reference to the cult pages? There's certainly enough of a community of cultists here on Facebook to do that. If I'm from the cult, why am I giving links to my friend on YouTube's videos, me, which strongly condemn their actions of murder, kidnap, rape, seduction, and deception? If you think I'm from the cult after all this, then I advise you read what I say throughout this page. And so he literally wrote that in response to anyone who accused that he wasn't a member of the cult. And it is irritating because, again, me and my friend, like I said, we have enough experience to identify cultists on site, and that comes from experiencing, seeing thousands of cultist pages and profiles, and seeing how they are. But simply because in the title of this page, the title of the page is the Eastern Lightning Cult. She focused only on the Eastern Lightning, and she also saw the image, the profile image, which is the symbol in the crosshairs. And she didn't notice the crosshairs; she just saw the symbol, and that's it. She didn't even check any of the posts on that page. She didn't check the criticism of the cult. She didn't check exactly what the page was about and what it was meant to do in its purpose. And because of that, she incorrectly labeled us as members of the cult. And that's irritating. I do hope that she does realize errors of ways and changes. But this is also a reminder to all of you out there that before you accuse someone of being a member of the cult, make sure you have a proper case and you actually understand it. Again, me and my friend have experience. We know how to identify cultists very, very quickly. And that's a combination of going immediately into their profiles, looking at the names, profile images, posts they put up, groups and links they follow, books they read, movies they watch, groups they're in, pages they follow. Okay, it's a very quick process. We can find out whether or not they're a member of the cult in a matter of seconds. Me, it might take slightly longer because of my laggy computer. But again, we have experience to do that. This woman, she claimed that she was an admin, but she didn't do that once. Otherwise, she would have seen the mistake she made. So, if you do find somebody you suspect to be a cultist, make sure you do a proper check. And just because they have a couple of possible hints towards them being a cultist, don't necessarily take that as enough evidence to build a complete case against them. Because if you're wrong, then you're slandering them and you're potentially going to make them obviously very angry with it. I mean, I'm not angry, I'm more annoyed, and my friend's also quite annoyed, but we're also both sad that this woman didn't do enough research before she accused us. So for all of you out there, do make sure that if you're going to not just in the context of this cult, but if you're going to put forward a case against anyone, make sure you have enough evidence to support your case. Make sure you do enough research, otherwise you'll make a mistake as grand as this one's. And now, completely out the blue, I don't know how I even forgot about this video from earlier this year, but I'm going to put in a video about how I was almost apparently hit by a car earlier this year. Greetings, comrades. I'm Mr. Cantles, and as you can see from the title of this video, I was almost run over today. Seriously, this year is like a slightly more intense version of last year, isn't it? I mean, last year I saw someone get hit by a car, or I heard them, turn around and saw it, but this year I almost got hit myself. Well, I almost got hit myself. I think the guy was okay though, so that's good. So what happened, I decided to draw a map for you guys to follow because it may be a little bit confusing. Apologies for my terrible drawing. I showed this to my mother and she said that she understood it, so okay. Here we are. So as you can see here, this is basically what I'm going to try to show you. So obviously here's the road, okay? Here's land, non-road. Here's some islands, some zebra crossings here, okay? So there's one there, one there, one there. Again, sorry for my poor drawings. I decided to do this because if I just told you I was hit by a car, some of you may say, okay, well was that your fault? And I'm going to show you exactly why it wasn't my fault, and why what I did was perfectly justified in my complete shock and horror at what happened. So you see, what I wanted to do is I was over here, and I decided I want to get from here. Is my handwriting too bad to do? Oh, let me try. So I'm doing this with my left hand. My handwriting, with my left hand is terrible. So A, okay, that's A.
and then here's B. So I literally wanted to get from A to B. Okay, you see that? Now, what's important to remember is that these roads here, this road here, okay, okay, there was this lane here was a special lane, so it forced the traffic to diverge here, because this lane specifically, okay, this one here, is part of a bus lane. Sorry, I know my hand. This is my left hand. My left hand sucks. So this, what happened here? There were buses, and they. So if you were in this lane, you'll turn here. If you were in this lane, you could turn here. But this middle lane was a bus lane. The buses could go this way and this way, I believe. No, buses could only go this way, and then buses could only go this way, because this road here was a one-way. So if you came down this road, you would have to go a U-turn. The reason why there are two lanes, however, is because this is actually a bus route. So a car can go down this road here fine, but they will have to turn before they get to this end, because only buses are allowed to go over this way. So a normal car could just drive this way or drive that way, but they can't go to the right. A normal car, this one will go left, this one goes straight. I think this will go straight too. These lanes aren't too accurate, I know. A car here could go right, a car here could go straight, but they couldn't turn right, but they couldn't turn left. And I've only ever seen buses turn left here and buses turn left there, okay? You get that? Right, well, what happened was I decided to get from point A to B, and the light was green, okay? So it was okay to walk. Sorry, that's my tick, okay? It was okay to walk. So I started walking, and I took a couple of steps into the middle of the road here. And all of a sudden, can you see that? Yeah. All of a sudden, a car comes flying around this corner. Okay, he comes flying in. Now, I wasn't the only person to start walking. I was walking here. There's another guy about to walk down there, okay? There's another guy about to walk. We both jumped back to safety as he drove by. And then we looked at each other like, we were like, what just happened? Like, I turned to look to the left, right? No, sorry, I went to look to the right. I was like, is any other cars coming? No, it's green. It's a green light. Where do you come from? We just watched him go away. He was like this. I can't remember the exact type of the car. The person who was in it. He was a dark brown. It was a dark blue car, but he didn't care that there were people trying to cross. And so we looked at each other for a few seconds. I saw, okay, it's still green. So I went to carry on walking, but I kept a close eye out on my right, and I managed to get across fine. So I went back on. So he went that way. Okay, I know this is really messy. Sorry. And then I went this way, and I continued on peacefully, and I got to point B fine. I carried on going to my lesson. But the point was, there shouldn't have been any cars coming around this corner here. None whatsoever. I mean, not only was this fact that this was a green light for us to walk, but also no car should be going down beyond this light, beyond the level crossing here, because that would mean they're going to go here, but even though it's illegal, because this is a bus only road, really. So that's the point of all, guys. I was almost hit by a car by a guy who wasn't even following the law, and it bugs me a little bit, because it's got to a point I can walk. I mean, I was perfectly aware what was happening, which is why I'm safe. But he didn't even brake or anything. He just went right. He just went shooting by. He didn't really care what was going on. I mean, then again, I don't know exactly what was in his head at that point. So he was distracted. Maybe, but even then, that'll still be his fault. Didn't see any children screaming in the back, so it didn't seem like he'd be distracted that way. Why are you so slow, Chrome? But I survived, obviously. I jumped back in time. I was fine. I did my life didn't flash before my eyes. But I'm fine, and that's the reason why I am fine is because I was perfectly aware of what was going on. So even though I knew that it was green, I kept making sure. When I was crossing, I made sure to look both ways. I saw that car saw the car going around the corner, and I realized what was going to happen. I jumped back, but that's because I was aware. Fortunately, the other guy he was a little bit closer to his end of the road, so he would have been fine. But this is the reason why you need to be aware when you are crossing the road, because you do have people like that who go around breaking the law and they end up causing accidents. Just make sure that you're not a part of that accident as well, because that's not something you want to go through. The point of this video, guys, is I was almost hit by a car because everything I did was in the right, and he was doing something illegal. but I'm safe because I was aware of my surroundings. So when you guys cross the road, make sure you stay safe too.
I can't even remember how I forgot to put this video up there. Again, it's amazing what you can learn if you it's amazing what I found when I've busy been scrolling back through all the stuff I recorded throughout the year, and I'm like, how did I forget to put this up? Definitely weird stuff. I mean, I've still got my hair video to put up, and I'll put that up next week. But the point about this video is, other than the fact that I narrowly survived being hit by a car, that was breaking the law, make sure you have put a case together before you accuse someone of being a member of the cult. Anyway, that's it for pretty much for this video, for this week. Someone came up to someone commented on one of my recent videos how they wanted me to do a video concerning the defense of the Filioque in the Nicene and Constantinopolitan Creed, and also about the controversial canon from the First Council of Constantinople, in which it says apparently the Church of Constantinople, the Patriarch of Constantinople, or the See of Constantinople, is the highest among equals after Rome. And sure thing. I mean, I will take requests. I did say in my videos to comment if you have any ideas for videos you want me to do, and I'll get around to doing that when I can. It may take a little bit of time because I want to try and get some sort of schedule together, but I will do a review about that. If you're watching this, you who recommend this video, don't worry, I'll work on it soon. And yeah, I mean, that really is it for this week. But anyway, so God bless you all. See you next video, comrades. Until then.